Kanye West might have just ended his career for good. From doubling down on his views on Jewish people to campaigning for the release of P. Diddy, Kanye West had a historic meltdown. So let's break down what happened in full. Kanye West controversially tweeted, "Free Puff." Now, with the countless pieces of evidence and witnesses coming out and accusing Diddy, protesting his innocence isn't just controversial, it's completely insane. Nobody knew what might come next, but they soon found out. In a short span of hours, he posted a long string of tweets that left people both fascinated and alarmed. The next tweet at 9:32 p.m. took on a sharper edge. Kanye called out fellow celebrities, saying they were weak for not defending Diddy. He used blunt words to accuse the rest of Hollywood of letting Diddy sit in jail without speaking up. At 9:44 p.m., he dragged Chris Brown into the conversation, recalling how folks once tried to ruin Chris's career. Kanye claimed he should have stood by Chris more boldly before and vowed his loyalty now, as if to show he would never repeat that mistake. Then, at 9:53 p.m., he tagged former President Donald Trump, asking him to free Diddy. This turned the spotlight onto Trump, who had been known for responding to Kanye on occasion in the past. Then, at 10:35 p.m., he dropped a bombshell. "Slavery is a choice," he declared, stirring immediate outrage. Some believed it might be a joke or a statement out of context, but he showed no sign of regret. Then at 10:46 p.m., he challenged anyone who might try to cancel his deals or freeze his funds. He said he refused to censor himself and would never edit his words again. That same minute, he mentioned Diageo, the liquor giant Diddy had sued, telling them in strong language exactly how he felt, which demonstrates how he's really sliding for Diddy. Then, at 11:33 p.m., Kanye shared that he would be selling a Sean John line of shirts through his Yeezy site, splitting profits with Diddy. Then, after midnight, at 12:37 a.m., he declared that he loved the game for life, and that nobody had hacked his account. Folks online started to wonder if these tweets would ever slow down. A little after that, at 1:58 a.m., Kanye wrote about loving to cut the grass every couple of years, which had people guessing he was referring to spotting fake friends. At 2:16 a.m., he gave more background, claiming that certain unnamed white people in power were trying to scare black leaders by coming after Diddy. He said he was neither scared nor brave, just being real about the state of the world. By 2:34 a.m., he said his heart had not raced once the entire night, claiming God mode. 1 minute later, at 2:35 a.m., he announced, "Puff, we love you." Then at 2:37 a.m., he proclaimed, "My name is Yeah Bitch, so you don't know me," as if reminding everyone he was no longer just Kanye West, but Ye. Then, at 3:11 a.m., he mentioned a track called Wheels Feel Off, featuring himself and Ty Dolla $, previewing verses that included a Free Puff Daddy line. A minute later, he thanked Elon for buying the platform he used for his rants, complaining that Instagram had kicked him off. Then, at 4:13 a.m., he said God was the greatest. He quoted words by Elijah Muhammad about unity being stronger than an atomic bomb. By 4:21 a.m., he was boasting that he had defended Diddy and would still collect 20 Grammys in the next year and even perform at the Super Bowl. At 5:01 a.m., things took a heated turn. Kanye threatened to punch anyone who asked him about Diddy's situation. He did not care if they were 8 feet tall. He pledged to hang up on any call if people brought up the subject and blocked direct messages if folks tried to discuss it. His next tweet at 5:05 a.m. tore into woke culture once more, mocking the use of plus-size models on runways. At 5:06 a.m., he refused to apologize for his statements about Jewish people. He said he could say whatever he wanted forever, demanding an apology from the financial groups that had frozen his accounts. The following tweets built on that hostility, claiming at 5:09 a.m. that he did not trust any Jewish person. He reminded people he was sober so no one could blame alcohol for his words. By 5:12 a.m., he accused Jewish groups of supporting abortion in Black and Latino communities. At 5:23 a.m., he said everyone had watched him burn alive. Now he was done with them all. He insisted he did not need anyone's support. If they were not with him, they were out. He said it made no difference if he was in a big mansion or his car. Moments later, at 5:32 a.m., he joked about the different forms of there, and there, calling it honky stuff he did not have time to sort out. At 5:33 a.m., he said some of his best friends were Jewish, yet he did not trust them. Then, by 5:38 a.m., he began talking about his dominion over his wife, saying no woke feminist mindset would change that. She was free to make her own choices, but only if he approved. He then expressed that he had no respect or care for any living person unless he granted them favor. At 5:41 a.m., he questioned how a man who pays for everything could let his partner run him, telling broke people to shut up. Moments later, at 5:45 a.m., he mentioned Kamala Harris, but confessed he knew nothing about politics and did not really care. At 5:49 a.m., he said he did not listen to rap. He claimed not to know who was rapping anymore. He insisted he was too wealthy and advanced to need rap's content, stating it brought him no new information. 2 minutes later, at 5:51 a.m., he said he toured only for money and preferred playing video games. He was still grateful to Jewish creators who made The Last of Us, though. Then at 5:53 a.m., he bluntly said he was racist, claiming stereotypes were real. At 5:54 a.m., he announced he did not like fancy places to eat because ramen noodles and chips existed for a reason. 1 minute later, he said he only cared about himself and those who could help him. By 5:57 a.m., he admitted his support for Diddy was completely selfish, as he hoped to find out who was targeting big black names in business. At 5:58 a.m., he spoke about not knowing the meaning of anti-Semitic, suggesting it was made up by Jewish people to shield themselves. At 6:02 a.m., he declared he was not gentle but was now king. By 6:03 a.m., he said he could lose everything and still feel that all this was worth it. At 6:10 a.m., he marveled at the fact that he was still alive despite all he had shared. Then, at 6:11 a.m., he said he had turned down 3 photo requests from kids in wheelchairs with Make-A-Wish because he did not take pictures unless he chose to. He followed that at 6:12 a.m. by claiming he paid people to laugh at his jokes. By 6:14 a.m., he insisted no wealthy man was truly funny since humor was a tool for broke folks seeking free hookups. Then at 6:15 a.m., he stated the only thing worse than sleeping with someone for money was doing it for free. That same minute, he lashed out at Virgil Abloh, who had passed away years ago, saying, "Fa Virgil." This stunned those who knew how close they once were. By 6:21 a.m., he boasted about paying $1.5 million for his Grammy ads, then challenged Fox to return that money if they had a problem with his words. In the same minute, he wrote, "I love Hitler," followed by, "I'm a Nazi," laughing at the idea anyone would try to silence him. Then, at 6:24 a.m., he said he did not need or want support from other stars since they were broke. At 6:26 a.m., he claimed he did not care about how tough or criminal someone's past might be because jail was not hard to achieve. Many who watched this saga unfold were torn between shock and intrigue. Was this a calculated plan? Was Kanye just fed up and lashing out in one long night of venting? Did he hope to draw attention to what happened with Diddy? Or was it all about stirring up more drama for himself? In the span of one night, the tension grew from free puff to full-blown statements of "I love Hitler" and open declarations of being a Nazi. He touched on abortion, race, personal loyalty, money, and control. Everyone who read the tweet saw a new layer of Kanye's raw thoughts, unfiltered and unrestrained. Even by his own wild standards, this meltdown felt like an event with no precedent. It's hard to see Kanye coming back from this.